Okay, welcome back to another killer video. We are the artist. And this video is going to be a little different. I'm going to give some of my opinions about what's going on in this match. I went up against a two-man. And both were streamers, and one was actually streaming at the time. So I watched the replay when the match was over. And it was quite interesting because both of these streamers are obviously Survivor mains. They probably don't play Killer at all. They were quite entitled, which is typical of people who play only Survivor in this game. One of the first things out of the streamer's mouth when the match started was how fun the new perk made for this is. One of the most busted Survivor perks to come out in quite a while, where survivors once injured move 3% faster. It's quite problematic, but they don't care because they don't play Killer. So as the match goes on, I will attempt to convey what they were saying, their comments. It was very... I don't know what the word is, but it was just... I play nice up until I don't have to. And even then, all I get are complaints from Survivor mains. There was a match where I played Survivor, and an Oni slugged my whole team at 5 gens. I mean, I could play like that. I find it boring, though, slugging and camping and tunneling and all that. I only do it if I have to. So I tend to play more nice than other people who play Killer. If they want to complain, they can complain about some of these other killers, like I said, that Oni match where he just slugged us at 5 gens and we were all pretty much dead. No one 4%ed. But you don't get any thanks whatsoever, no matter how you play this game as Killer. The survivors are quite entitled. I think at this point they basically just want to do gens and be left alone. The Killer they feel is an inconvenience. It would be better if the Killer didn't exist. But yeah, it's okay. This Ace was the streamer who was actually streaming, and he was trying to do some fancy stuff, going for flashlight saves and all that, or flashbangs, I think. He wasn't really bad-mouthing me all that much. He was just saying, typical Survivor main things like, oh, how great Made for this is, and it was his friend who was also a streamer who decided to lay into me and really question my abilities as a killer in this game. I will, as the match progresses, I will convey what was said. But anyway, the way they're acting, I know it's at least two-man Swift, but they seem to be, unless they're going for a tome challenge, there seems to be at least three or four a 3 or 4 man Swift the way they're acting, but it could just be a random going for a tome challenge. So as the match progresses, the person who was streaming, he was... it's interesting because he was just chill the whole time. He was just having a grand old time. You know, me, I have to keep track of all these things. Try to keep the match under control. Okay, at this moment, now the streamer's friend says, "Oh well, the killer's waiting out the Fang's borrowed time. Why do killers tunnel like this?" Doesn't stop to think at all. I'm at 2 gens right here, and I still have all 4 survivors in the match. In order to stand a chance of winning, I need someone out now. And I don't know how that hit. I'm looking to the side. It hit from the side. It didn't hit from dead on. So these flashlights are so stupid. They buffed them to an insane level. So yeah, the streamer's friend, who was also a streamer on Twitch, but I don't think they were streaming, just immediately starts complaining and whining about me tunneling someone. Doesn't stop to think that, you know, maybe at 2 gens I kind of need to in order to stand a chance of winning in this game. So yeah, they start whining, and I was running Pop and Overcharge at the time, and you would not believe the complaints, saying, "Oh, this killer's running crutch perks. This killer's dog shit because they're running Pop and Overcharge." I'm saying I'm bad at the game. I'm not the greatest artist player, but I do make a lot of the shots, I do hit a lot of survivors with the crows. Whether or not I hit them again is another story. But a lot of times you don't hit them again. But at least the crows slow them down to a certain extent. Gives you a chance at a loop. But yeah, they were calling me dog shit at the game because I play an anti-loop killer who runs gen slowdown perks. 2 gen slowdown perks. Apparently that's just too much for them. Never mind that most survivors nowadays run at least resilience. They'll also run prove thyself to try and make the gens go faster. And they also run that new perk made for this, which is a very busted perk. Needs to be nerfed somehow. But no, all I get from entitled survivor mains are complaints. So this video is basically to anyone who wants to play killer and is concerned about what these survivors will say. Don't be concerned. They'll complain no matter what. People who main survivor in this game are very entitled. They think the killer should play how they want them to play. The killer shouldn't run any gen slowdown perks. So if you want to play killer, play how you want. Run the perks you want. Even that survivor game where that Oni slugged us at 5 gens, I really don't care. I'll just go on to the next. That's fine. If he wants to slug us at 5 gens, more power to him. I really don't care. I'm not one of these people who are like, take this game so seriously that if I have a bad match as Survivor, it's the end of the world. Or if I go against a killer running certain perks, or an anti-loop killer that I don't like, it's like the worst thing in the world. And how dare they do this? I think a lot of these people who take this game way too seriously like that need to, have another hobby. Just maybe examine their lives a little bit. Say to themselves, why am I getting so upset about a video game where both sides are trying to win? Because that's what people do in video games. So it was really interesting, though, to see this match from the other perspective and to see how entitled these Survivor main players are. The one person who was streaming at the time, the Ace, he had in his Steam profile, he had like P100 Thalita, P100 Ace, and P100 Ada. So he has at least 3 P100 survivors. So I'm willing to bet that's all he plays is Survivor. Yeah, I'm so dog shit, apparently. I love it when survivors say killers are bad, and yet they still die. And it's like, if the killer's bad, then how did they get you? Oh, I had to rely on crutch perks and an anti-loop killer. This killer is only good at anti-looping if you actually can make the shots. Basically, you put a crow down. If they see the crow, they'll run away. So in that sense, she is anti-loop. But, in order to actually capitalize on her anti-loop ability, you do have to... that's a little reprisal for the teabags. You do actually have to make your shots sometimes. Like at Killer Shack, for instance. She's anti-loop there if you can hit them with the crows. So this was an interesting match, to be sure. It's amazing. You can play, go for chases, go for hooks, play as nice the nicest way possible, and they will still complain. And yet I go against killers who play 10 times more, intense than I do. And they should go up against some of these killers. Yeah, that Meg was the one who was complaining. Runs hope, resilience, made for this, unbreakable. But my perks are crutch perks.